This is hey, welcome back to Let's Talk IT. It's your boys Crazy Sanji back in the studio. And tonight, well, as you guys know, we have Everett Williams. Everett, say to people what's up. And also in the studio joining us today we have the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ricardo Neil. Dr. Neil, how are you doing? How are you doing? Alright, so we have a small technical issue. I'm not getting these line in.
Okay, go ahead. Just talk.
All right. I'm not still able to hear. I'm not able to hear you guys, so I'm just going to, But we do have some interesting information that just came in. Have you guys heard about CES this year? CES 2020, 2022. Wow, I'm 2 years behind. Oh my.
Alright, got me make some paper, yeah. Alright, got me make some paper, yeah.
Miss Neil, can you just say something? Oh my God, what's going on?
Use it for me.
All right. I'm able to hear myself. I'm able to hear everything now. Better. We have technical issues. Miss Neil. When was last episode? We had last episode since last year. I'm kinda rusty in things, and I've been sleeping a lot. Needed some sleep, sleeping a lot. So, well. Where was I? We need to speak about CES. CES is something that's been the talk of the time because there's been a lot of new innovations and technology that's been released. And I think one of the main things that have been released is gaming gear. I'm pretty sure that you guys own gaming gear, at least like a mouse pad. Mr. Neil, you have a whole setup. Yes, and well, I do have a scrap build setup. I'm gonna call it the scrap build setup. Last episode we were calling myself Scrap Man, so we do have a setup like that. No, it's not an entire gaming system. It's my laptop, my handy dandy laptop that works when it's ready, and also a few other things that I put together from a bunch of things, systems, and stuff that I found, quote unquote. Um, you know, friends gave it to me, so I put it together, and now I have a system that could run certain games really smooth and fresh. And it's actually, I'm glad for it because I'm able to create games and run testing environments. So right now, one of the things that has caught my eye is Razer's concept desk, which is the Project Sophia. It's a modular gaming desk that you can just change paths, PCBs from one area to the next to your comfort. And I feel like that's something that I will love because it also has like a charging deck. It has a warmer for your drinks, a cooler for your drinks. It's just a concept. I think it's going to be like the Razer's mask that came out. I forgot what it was called, but I like the mask. The mask came out, I think, a few months after it was announced. So I think it's the same thing for Project Sophia. Listen, you're gonna get it? Maybe. So I actually wish it was, but um it is. And the next thing that we saw today was the Samsung's 56-inch monitor. It's a 4K monitor, and it has a dial that you could switch between screens, and it's one long screen that has three different mini screens within it. I feel like that'll be useful for like streamers and so forth. Because I have three screens here right now. Yeah, and I mean, Miss Neil, for persons who are like into programming and stuff, you just have your test environment. It's easy. I know, right, Miss Neil, I'm definitely going to be distracted with movies. So you might get your work, a little after deadlines. So I think the other thing that did catch our eye, I think Errol spoke about this last week. Oh yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty funnily, I'm actually not sure of the full form, so I'm actually going to Google it up because Google's kind of handy these days. So, what is CES? Um, CES is actually a okay. Let me just explain what Google has for me. CES is an annual trade show organized by the Consumer Technology Association held every January in Las Vegas. And this is held in the convention center in Nevada. Nevada. Oh my God, I can't pronounce words. And I think CES has a abbreviation for it. If I can find the abbreviation, that'll be amazing. CES is Consumer Electrics Show. I can't read. Oh my God. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Miss Neil, IITA on CCS? I mean, we could. We could have our own exhibit. Oh, of course, of course. CES 2023. So, yes. So, Mr. Neil, what. We went through a couple of projects earlier today. What project kind of stood out to you? The three-way monitor. There's actually one that me and Everett were watching. I think I showed you. That was a robot. So they have a humanoid robot that's for sale. True. I don't know. Probably like 8, 9K. Probably 25K, 50K. I'm just calling numbers. I I'm not sure when, but I think January 11th is when I found out about it. And I remember watching a digital venue video on the 12th. And and we were actually supposed to have the show on the last week, the 11th. And so instead of that, we're having it now. If not, we would have a live footage, coverage that we would be making from here. But for those who are actually tuning in right now, for everyone that's listening, quickly let me just give you guys one big welcome. Welcome back to the Let's Talk IT 98.9 Win FM. Happy New Year to every single one of you. I hope you had a wonderful New Year. I know I had a good New Year because I was sleeping all day. So Dr. Neil, it is our first show. Okay. Because all right, so we're having too many technical difficulties. Um, yeah, yeah. So New Year, New Year, not new me. New Year, me, old me. What? I am stuck. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on? What's going on? Mr. Neil, New Year's old me. New Year, new me. That's the only thing that's new about me is that I have my glasses. That's the only thing new. For those who tuning, yeah, new glasses. I don't have the same old face. So Well, for those who are tuning in right now, I've never done this before. Never once have I done this. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I've never once done this. So I'm going to do it for the first time. Listeners, Naim used to do this a lot. I'm going to do it for the first time. If you are tuning in right now, you can actually call us. Our lines are open. Our numbers are 662-0989, 762-0989, and 466-0989. That is 662-0989, 762-0989, and 466-0989. You guys can actually call in, give us some feedback, how your New Year was. How do you guys spend Christmas? How you guys spend New Year's? I know I was home sleeping, stargazing. I was on call with Everett. Everett's out. You know, I was trying to contact Mr. Neil. Mr. Neil was,
I was kind of MIA for a
Mr. Neil
while.
blocked
Yeah.
me. He didn't want to talk to me.
Allah. Allah.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this year, Mr. Neil, what did you do for New Year's?
What I do for New Year's, I chilled.
Rituals. I'm just kidding.
I chilled and kind of think about some certain things that I need to do as a strategic plan, what I need to get done for 2023. I think everyone should have some kind of plan, at least a 2 years or 3 years plan. I don't think you should live just
For one
for
year.
the moment, like just live for the moment and that's it. No, I think you should make some plans. So I made some plans for this year, especially for SKNRA and so forth. So yeah.
That's nice. Everett, what about you?
Well, you should know already. I was being kidnapped out the house. I wasn't staying home. So yeah, all I did was like enjoy myself with my second family and stuff like that. Well, you didn't want to kidnap me in the house as well, but
I mean, I did kidnap you out of the house.
well, too many times. That's the funny part about it. But
For
yeah,
Christmas, for my birthday,
yeah, for everything.
everything. We were trying to also kidnap Mr. Neil for my for New Year's, but yeah, I couldn't get him.
Nobody.
MIA for a long time.
Mr. Neil, you know, someone actually asked me this question earlier today. They asked me, what's my New Year's resolution? And this is what I had to tell them. I'm going to actually say my New Year's resolution right now. I'm going to go to the gym is my New Year's resolution for 2023.
I think I have well, let me think about the New Year's resolution. It's something that I said I was gonna do, also go to the gym.
No, Mr. Neil, my New Year's resolution for 2023 is to go to the
2023
gym.
For you, 2022
For 2022, I have none.
I have that as something I think I want to do.
For now, I'm taking it light.
Taking it light.
For now.
Yeah, because I did tell you this. I did work out to a point where my arms got too big. So I'm gonna take a break for a while.
Yeah.
But I do want to go to the gym. So if you're going, you can take me with you.
Sure.
So you could get bigger? That's crazy.
But I would want to go to the gym to become those guys who look like they're giants. I don't want that.
I would like to look like an anime character.
Go for Baki, go for Baki.
It's the persons who are like in the tech field or persons who sit a lot at their desk.
Yeah.
You must exercise.
Yeah.
You can't just be
don't
laid back.
Yeah.
I learned that after quarantine.
Yeah, because you're going to wake up one day and wonder what happened. Right? You have a huge tummy. So you're going to wonder what happened. So, yeah, it's always good to exercise and keep healthy. Especially, I mean, since COVID came, I mean, a lot of persons have been working from home.
Yeah.
Right? And so they're sitting one place in front of the computer system. Unlike probably at work where you have moving up and down, moving from here to there, here to there. It's a whole different ball game. So you have to pay attention to your health. So exercise is very, very important. Very important.
And also one thing that I did notice, like when we were first starting off IITA, dev.iita, the previous platform,
Right.
that was during COVID. I remember I was behind my laptop all day, every day, even nights I used to be behind it. I never once thought about exercising because it never was in my head because before COVID I was always moving around, running, jogging. But when I started sitting behind my desk all day, every day, when COVID was done, I realized I had actually gained weight.
So you saw the change.
I was like, this is how I look. This is how I look with abs and stuff before COVID. But now I look like this. This is drastic changes. And thing about COVID now that we are speaking also falls with CES. One of the things that I did notice the projects at CES was a decontamination chamber, and that reminded me of 2020 First Global Competition, when one of our projects was a decontamination chamber for COVID. And I think that was like towards the end of the season, we actually made one. So I was like, we should have made it. We could have presented at
Yeah.
CES.
Because well, CES is it is dubbed as the largest show for tech in the world.
Yes.
The largest show for tech. So you're gonna have all these guys coming up to show their work, and most time technology is influenced by what is going on in the environment.
Yeah.
So
True.
the change in the environment, then the tech begin to look in that area.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? We tend to always be on the right track.
Yeah.
We always have this sense of vision, like exactly. I think this would work.
Because
and then you realize that it actually comes through. So yeah.
because if I look back to that particular year's challenges that we did and our projects during the challenge, Mr. Neil, I cannot believe the amount of challenges that we did that have become actual products somewhere in some company right now. One is the decontamination chamber. The other one would be e-learning platforms. There's plenty right now. I was surprised with the amount of it that's there. And on top of that, there was this mask cleaner that was proposed by Christina during that. She said, "Why don't we make a device that cleans
like a
masks?"
self-cleaning mask
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
And there is a company that actually makes that right
Making
now.
that. So you see, so the vision was clear. As there's well, in Nevis, I was looking at the news and I saw like a factory in Nevis that will be creating masks.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And even I think we had made some 3D designs that same year for our next challenge, where we are making face shields and printing them and so on.
Right. I think all we need is the funding. So anyone is listening here, fund SKNRA all the way. Yeah. 3D printers, all of those things.
SKNR.org, that's the website.
Yeah. So CES is a great place to showcase a lot of the work.
And actually today, accidentally, I found out a page on CES where you could actually exhibit your own products. And I don't know if CES is like a competition where you can win placements, because I saw something called Win Your Business.
Okay, well,
Wait,
maybe
what?
that's something that we need to look into and get the young people involved in.
Indeed.
Because CES has been around from 1967.
That long?
That's how long. So
Whoa.
it's
That's older than me.
It's not like it's yesterday. It's been around a long time. So it's a long time. People, persons have been seeing. Okay, how can we change and innovate and develop? So it's been a long
Indeed.
time.
And
So yeah.
And thing is, CES, I've noticed it has been changing. The products change with what's going on in today. Because last year, there was not much last year. CES wasn't as grand as this year.
Yeah.
Last year, the most they would have had that highlighted the event was AMD, Intel, Mercedes' Avatar concept car, and a few other projects like Razer's mask. I can't remember the project name yet. But I love the mask. I
You
want
see,
a mask.
funnily,
You're desperately needing it.
but funnily, all of the technology that we are using now, they were showcased at CES.
Oh,
Yeah, all of them. So, even the older ones. For example, the laser disc player was shown in 1974.
what?
The camcorder was shown in 1981. The digital audio technology, overall, they were shown in 1990. The compact disc was shown in 1991. The digital satellite system was shown in 1994. And I could go on and on. High definition television,
my.
1998. Satellite radio, 2000. Let me go down. HD radio, 2004. IPTV, 2005.
Oh my.
So all of these
Keep on
technology,
growing.
4K virtual reality unmanned system, 2015. So they were all shown at
So all of the
ECCS.
biggest
Yeah, all
products.
the biggest project. Microsoft Xbox, 2001.
Damn.
As far as that time.
Damn.
Right. So yeah. So I think it's good to have the programs like this. I think that is why our capstone project I think is very, very important because it mimic creativity.
And actually, this year there has been a lot of augmented reality, virtual reality, and gaming related.
There's
Well,
another
that's
talk
do.
on augmented reality. Yes,
And there has been a lot that relates to metaverse. And that's something that actually highlighted something else for me today when I was researching on this. Meta released something in December called Horizon Worlds. And this is like a virtual reality space where you can communicate and with other persons around the world. And it's something similar to VR chat, but it seems to be much better. So I'm trying to find more details or some persons who have actually streamed regarding it. But it seems the amount of persons who are in there is very small or limited. So I think it's like it's still in its beta phases. So I just signed up for it. So once I get access, I can try it out, because I'm actually kind of intrigued to see how far Meta would go.
But the thing
Well, it
is,
doesn't bear the system though.
system.
The system that you're using, which you say the system is falling apart.
Listen, it's falling apart, but some duct tape and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone says something.
Yeah, about Meta. Meta wasn't developing their own currency as well.
Well, that's what I heard. It's called Metacoin, is what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but right now with blockchains and cryptocurrency and NFTs in the market, I believe that will be the next thing. And I feel like NFTs will take over metaverse, where people will be selling like their own customized figurines and so forth.
Well, it is growing after all, so cause it was like this small and you just boom out of nowhere.
Oh my God, I just can't. You see, it's always good to run with the ideas that you have because I literally remember people saying, "Do not get involved in cryptocurrency," and now.
Everyone is.
Yeah, there was a lot of
It's a whole
it was a lot of
different-
negativity like going
Yeah.
towards it, and
Listen,
next thing
Neil,
And
though,
now the whole space changed. So it's
This-
the way of the future.
This thing, I think we actually spoke about this yesterday. 2016 is when I learned about cryptocurrency from you and the next person who's also known as the Bitcoin Jesus, Roger Ver. When I learned about it, I got interested, and I think I've been speaking to you about it ever since.
Ever since, yeah.
2016, if we had actually purchased, not even Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency, right now it'll be on a next level. Because even today, me and Avril were watching one of the cryptos that just came out. It's called Shiba. One Shiba is one USD is equal to 35,300
Ain't.
some change of Shiba coins.
37,000.
Yes, something like
Some
that.
wrong with you.
So, Mr. That's going to go up soon,
Yes.
sooner or later. So if someone buys for 1 USD, invest 1 USD into that right now, let's say next 10 years down the line, that's going to be equivalent to 1 USD, let's say. That's $35,000 you have right there. So people don't know, sometimes time makes money.
Yeah, well, that's what investment is, and investment.
And I
requires
think
time.
even before cryptocurrency, stocks was a thing.
Yeah, it still is.
It's stocks and
still is.
cryptocurrency
It's always
is the same
still
concept.
there.
Still is.
There's
It
nothing
ain't going
changed with
anywhere.
it.
It still is. People, as a matter of fact, I think every young person should invest in stocks
Yeah,
and
and
just put something there and leave it.
What's
And you be
well,
surprised.
one thing for sure is that stocks and cryptocurrency is like gambling.
Well-
Because you could lose money.
You
well,
have
it's
to
a
take
50-50,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's
And also, if you actually are really interested and look through the graphs on a timely period, you'll eventually learn the dips and the ups. So you know when it's going to dip, you know it's going to go up. So, and I think there are actual particular specific words for them, which I am not familiar with because I'm only used to like watching it and knowing when.
this
Or
read
predicting it, yeah, predicting it.
prediction.
Yeah.
But I know some persons who are like fully into it and they know every single thing. They know the concept for.
And you have persons who rely on brokers for stocks. You have like a middleman who do your investments for you.
Also, you just give them money.
Brokers, and they invest for you, and they give you your returns. So, yeah.
Oh, that's a new concept for me.
Because those persons study the market, so they study the market.
Ah,
And once you know a good broker, somebody who understands how this business work. I mean, most of the banks they have brokers who
They-
invest for them on Wall Street.
Missy, I
Right.
have no idea about that.
Yeah, well, you know, invested on Wall Street. So A lot of and
Oh, that is why the movie Wolf of Wall Street came out.
right. So
Oh.
it's a similar. It's the same thing. It's just they just put some drama in it. But you
Oh,
do have
that
brokers.
makes more sense.
So the brokers invest in Wall Street for banks, for companies. So if you as an individual invest, whether you do it directly or have a broker do it, it's just similar to what the companies are doing.
Mm.
See, I'm saying just that you're going in as an individual while the company going as a company.
Indeed, and I think one of the main concepts right now for persons to get involved, well, for me, I'm learning about all of these things from a platform that I didn't expect to learn it from. Even most of the CES stuff, I found out about those on TikTok.
Well, yeah, that's what.
And I realized all social platforms are adapting TikTok's concept of short videos. So you have YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels.
Yeah, Instagram Reels.
Snapchat also has its own
Because
thing.
I was on YouTube Shorts and person was asking me if I was on TikTok, and I was like, no.
I must have asked you.
I'm like, I'm YouTube. I'm like, what? I say, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's like,
so-
I'm like, wow.
Because short, you see, because information is so much out there, when you cut it short, the person remember better, and they
Yes.
have a better connection with short information,
Hmm.
as opposed to a long thing, which is not a movie.
Which is so true because I can remember which TikToks I saw up to like a year ago because it's so short and concise. I remember the information rather than a video that's like 2 hours long. I think even Linus Tech Tips, someone that we have always been watching, is also on TikTok, and I saw a video of him dropping everything. And this thing, I can tell you every single thing he has dropped so far, like all the GPUs and stuff, and I feel hurt.
GPU.
Yes, I know why Everett is crying because GPUs are very hard to find right.
Yeah.
And I found out that China banned mining. Crypto mining is banned in China now. So
Officially.
yeah,
Oh.
and it seems like everyone who owns mining farms are forced to sell their GPUs on eBay or Alibaba and so forth.
So it's straight to do auction with it. So
Is it that for 2022?
It happened last year apparently, but I wasn't informed until recently about it. And yeah, you see, GPUs, although there's so much going on sale right now, it's still had because of the auctions. The auction
gonna be
prices
expensive.
are insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
Mr. Neil, NVIDIA 650. I know the price used to be between $500 to $1,000. It's on auction for $4,000.
Yeah, they're gonna sell them really expensive. Because I mean, a video card, a GPU like that, it can be used to generate income.
True.
So they're gonna raise them really high. So that is why even the older GPUs, they're still solid. There's some persons who will say like the 3050, 350, they're
Mhm.
old. No, but trust me, those are the ones that are very good for mining.
And thing is, I actually found something out that most game developers, are now seeking to also expand their games to computers that don't have a GPU or have an integrated GPU. Since not everyone has a system that has a GPU on it. Even because I'm saying this because recently I decided to play Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone,
oh boy.
a game that I haven't played since it first came out 2 years ago. Mr. Neil, that's just that game when it first came out, I was running on 1 frame per second. When it came out now, when I downloaded and played, I'm playing on 120, and I have 2 GPUs. One is integrated, one is an expansion, and it still works really nice. So I was like, so most games are actually coming that they don't use
Yeah.
DirectX, rather they have their own thing called performance mode.
Something to that, yeah.
Well,
But I mean, we still have games like Cyberpunk.
the other one was gonna be that ain't gonna be changing. But
I tried playing Cyberpunk, Mr. Neil. I give up.
boy.
I give up.
No.
All I heard my fan spin. My laptop lifted off the ground a little, and then smoke, straight smoke.
I think maybe that is what Apple was trying to fix. They were trying to get rid of take out the fan.
Oh, completely.
They take it out completely for the.
Oh, and they use the
for
plate.
Pro. Yeah, use the plate. But they use their own chip though, because
They-
because with the Intel chip, you're going to need a fan based on how it is designed to keep it cool,
Mhm.
or you have liquid cooling. So for the MacBooks Pro, They don't have any fan in them. It's very quiet.
Which is
but it is the
interesting.
M1 chip they have in it though,
Mm-hmm.
which is a different chip from Intel.
Yeah, and I think the Pro has the M1 Pro.
Has a M, yeah, but you can if based on what Apple is saying, if you want the Intel
Mm-hmm.
i9, you can get it with it.
Oh,
But the risk you're running is if you're running high definition stuff, then the fan is gonna start to spin.
oh,
Yeah.
so that's the only
That's the
drop.
drawback. But with the M1 chip, no sound.
Oh, so it's silent. Perfect for libraries.
Silent.
Basically, I'm saying that because when when I remember this day, this was my first year in college. I went to the library at main campus, and I don't know which library was the college library. So I went to a public library in the side, and when I went in, I was just doing my work, getting my assignments done. My fan decided to spin like a jet. And all I remember is the kind lady. She was kind. She came. She was like, "Sir, you're kind of loud." I was like, I apologize. Closed the laptop and I walked out. I felt embarrassed.
Because it was you get an Intel chip, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what happened. It's not because I'm a fan of Intel.
I'm a fan of AMD.
Yeah, well, but the reality is that it comes with most of them will come with a fan to keep them cool,
Hmm.
and you're gonna hear the sound.
There's
Yeah.
actually a laptop that I'm currently interested in. I actually showed Everil this laptop the other day. It's called the Zephyrus G series.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Neil, the fan is in such a way. One, it doesn't catch dust. Because it's anti-dust proof. The other one that I actually liked about it, the fans spin at minimum, even at maximum graphics, unless you want to make it overclock and spin faster to cool down quicker. I feel like that's a good way to keep and I feel like it's something for persons who are in more techie.
Yeah, more techy,
Because
yeah.
for you to know when to like cool it down and not overheat your system, you need to be more familiar with how much graphics needs how much power. So I was telling him I like the system, and the only thing I don't like about it is too small. It is too small.
What size?
It was how much was it? 12-inch, 13-inch.
Yeah, around 12.
I like big because I kind of get blind if it's too small.
You was like, you gonna
For
put your
me,
face in there like,
For me, I rather like 13-inch
The small ones.
devices, yes, because it's easier to move around. This is a giant right here.
True.
So easy. So if
Missing
you're
a
on a
24-inch laptop.
oh boy.
if you're on a flight, imagine you're sitting. Right,
Oh.
put the laptop down and this huge thing. So I rather to have a 13-inch.
Makes
Just
sense.
make sure you don't blind yourself. Like.
Okay. I mean that's smart. I mean that's come on.
You gotta zoom in like, you see, you had the 100
okay,
plus.
imagine your phone. You're on,
Yeah.
That's
Mr. Neil,
extremely small.
Mr. Neil, this is
compared to
me.
13-inch
This is me
one.
on my phone. This is how close it is. I literally am like this with my phone.
Yeah.
Well, you could actually remember you could set the size of the words and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
no,
you can't be just busting your brain like that.
No, it's not the words. It's just that I like the full immersion experience when I'm watching stuff. So I just have it close.
Like, you want to blind yourself, honestly.
Next thing you know, after I come close to a glass to see.
You're like,
Okay, unfortunately, we had missed the whole M1 thing that Apple did because that's something that we should have covered. It came out 2020.
I wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, I wasn't aware until
No.
this year, which is unfortunate.
And the only
Because
thing
they
I was
would have
aware of at the
done an
time
upgrade.
was the iPhone 13 that came out.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure the MacBooks came out.
Yeah, I know the MacBooks came out and they came out with this slide bar at the top and that kind of stuff. I knew that and it was pretty cool. But I wasn't paying attention to
The
specs
internals. Mhm.
that Apple decided that they are going to try.
And I think you also mentioned
their
that they
own.
removed the butterfly switches
Yeah, the butterfly
to the cross
keyboard
switches
was-
again.
which is very cool. But dust,
I like the butterfly, but the
yeah,
dust.
But there's a lot of problems because a lot of comments on a lot of
I actually
comment
have
on
a
the internet
keyboard
about it.
home. So I have my MSI keyboard with cherry keys, but I actually have butterfly switchable keys. These butterfly keys I bought them off Amazon. Only thing I don't like using them because every time I use them, you just have like things like dust, hair, and
Yeah.
things stuck in
And
them.
there are persons out there who like it. As a matter of fact, the butterfly keys are they're very comfortable.
Yeah.
They're literally very comfortable, and they encourage you to type.
Mhm.
Encourage you to type. Sometimes you have sometimes depending on the keyboard that you have, it lets you don't want to type because it feels so weird. and you have those that you type for the first time and you do not want to stop. It's just feel
Oh,
comfortable.
you just want to keep typing.
Yes, so the butterfly keyboard that Apple did was very cool. The only problem is that maintenance wise, that's a problem. that's a problem. You know. But I find the M1 chip very cool that
Miss
Apple
Neil-
decided they're gonna design their own.
Personally, do you like mechanical keys?
Yeah, like mechanical keys.
For what reason?
The sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing it.
Because every time I'm doing like I'm on a call or something, everyone has one complaint, is that my keys are too loud, and they're like, "Why are you hitting your keys so hard?"
Yeah, I thought it was like smashing that button. I was like,
It's a mechanical key, yeah.
And because the Cherry MX8 red keys,
Mm.
they're loud, Mr. Neil.
Well, yeah, I know that they're loud.
I think even you complained once
Yeah,
that
because
it's so.
they knock against the frame.
Yeah, and,
Bam, bam, bam.
and my
But-
phone was actually away from me,
Mhm.
so that I was like, "Wait, you can still hear
You
it?"
literally hear it, yeah.
And plus, I type fast, so it sounds weird.
So I like it for the sound, depending on like where I'm at. So if I'm like, if I'm alone in a space,
Oh,
then it's very cool. And
but when you're
if I'm-
around others.
and sometimes thinking wise, the sound kind of distract me from getting bored.
Oh.
So it would worse, But other than that, I don't mind. I don't mind the soft touch keys, Other than that, but yeah.
I like the soft touch because they're faster to type on. They feel much faster and smoother to
Yeah.
type on. Mechanical, it feels like I need to keep lifting my hand for everything.
no, I like sliding it. I don't. I can't. I like sliding it. When it
But
comes to
see-
silent deal, I was like,
Listen, I
Just
don't-
slide across, right?
yeah,
But you like to feel that the button was.
yeah. I
pressed,
can feel the buttons. So I know where they at.
So that's what I like. The effect. When I press the button, I should feel the button comes back up.
Oh.
That effect.
The effect is a.
Yeah, it keeps you going.
So when it's smooth like that, so I was like,
Yeah.
nah.
I actually have a keyboard in front of me right now, and this keyboard I just got the other day. It's fully wireless. It is small, compact. I liked it. But only thing I don't like about it, it is too silent, and it is too smooth. I can't feel it come back up. So I don't know if I click the
Yeah,
key
so
or
that-
not.
I don't like that. Yeah, because you won't know. You're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah, even here just now, I was like trying to get CES, and I was like, did I press the key? I have to check twice
Yeah.
because I'm not a person who checks while typing. I just check after I type. I'm like, wait, did I type? Did I click it? So I like loud keys.
Yeah, for me, the key can be loud, but also I want to feel the pushback.
Yeah, the pushback.
Mhm.
So I know, there was some kind of effect when I pressed the key.
Yeah.
So I want to feel that. So that's good. for me.
And I
It
think that-
worked for me.
I think that we are on this concept right now of peripheral devices. I think everyone should actually know that there are devices that would suit you in various ways. You have some that are ergonomic, which is
Yeah.
suitable for those who are like working in the office for a whole day. Then you have keyboards that are peripheral devices that help you
Yeah.
in like certain situations.
Like your wrist and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've learned firsthand the need to have a good mouse. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Because remember, I did the book, so I had
Oh.
every day I had to be
On the thing.
yeah every day for almost 3 years. I have to have my shifting this, shifting that, and spending hours to the point where here, right on my wrist, right here,
It's that hurt.
it kind of rub a bit.
Oh.
Right? So that is why now I had to seek for which mouse worked best for me. And the MX Master 2, but Master 3 now, pretty cool.
And the thing is, that same thing happened to me 2020.
Yeah.
Well, when I was working on dev. Well, what happened is that I didn't have a good keyboard, and I was using my laptop's keyboard. My laptop's keyboard was kind of weird. So what happened is my fingers would just lock itself.
Right, they begin to
And
cramp, yeah.
I can't type anymore. It freezes. I need to like loosen it, give it some to rest. But then I got the MSI keyboard. And Ms. Neil, I've not had a single situation. I can keep typing all day, every day. I'm good.
Yeah, so the ergonomics is very important. So if a person's who are buying these devices, always check the manufacturer, check to see.
Yeah.
And check the reviews.
And also, I think there's actually a website. I'm not sure. I don't know the URL right now, but there's a website where you can just measure your hand and so on, and you can just check which keyboards or devices that will
Work
fit
best
you
for
the
you.
best. And then I actually tested three keyboards. So I have 3 keyboards home. The MSI, I have one from OnePlus. OnePlus? Oh, it's from One.
Oh, because
Um,
one is the phone.
Yeah, I have from One, and then I have the Targus one in front of me. And from all three, the most comfortable is the MSI.
Mhm.
The one, it's not the best for me, but it works best for my friends. And the Targus, it's comfortable
Yeah.
to type on, but it's kind of hard because I can't feel it come back up.
Yeah, I can't work with that.
So that's all, I think that person should know that, because I don't think we've ever spoken about ergonomics.
No,
In-
not.
we have never
And
spoken
I think,
about-
I think we need to talk about that too, because there are a lot of persons out there who,
Yeah, and
because a lot of persons ask, which laptop should I choose for school? I get
Yeah.
that a lot. I get a lot.
actually I'm getting that from someone right here.
Hey, yo.
So first ask, which laptop should I get for school? Which is the best laptop for school? And that kind of stuff, right? And we can go through the whole
I look
list
for
because you have to
ones
look
that-
on the price tag.
Yeah.
What exactly you want it for? Is it just for school or for cross gaming
Yeah.
school? So there's a number of questions that would have to be answered. For you.
Yes, persons ask
Yeah.
me that, and I straight up ask them, "What's your budget?"
Yeah, and that's the budget. You want to know how much you're willing to
That's the
spend.
first thing you need to
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Once you know your budget, you could find a good company like Crosshair, Vengeance, and so on. But at the same time, you'd probably get something better out of the same price with a different company.
Yeah.
Because I've seen builds that's pure ROG, pure AMD, pure Intel, Pro Crosshair. I'm like, why? You could mix it up a little, get better out of it. And I think Linus was the one who showed me how to do that. Because I watched tons of videos from him, and that's when I learned that you could have two different let's take a RAM for instance. You could have two different RAMs, but one performs better with the motherboard and the CPU
Yeah.
than the other one. So he did like all the benchmark tests and so forth, and there's actually a website where I now learned about, where you can do performance benchmarks with all your components and just switch them out and check before you purchase. I think that's something that people need to know, especially school students,
Yeah.
since CXC is something that they're looking to get some devices for.
But the typical person who is buying a laptop, they're looking for. I don't think the majority is like us who's gonna change
Check.
parts. The majority is looking, okay, which laptop is the best one for me right now for school, or which laptop best one for me to do this or to do that. For persons who are in the tech field, and then we're gonna look at
Every
Every
thing.
single
check,
thing,
yeah,
like
the
smart.
specifics and detail. But in general consensus, which one will work for me for this
Yeah.
purpose. And that's where you have to give most person an answer. And there are some manufacturers that design laptops specifically for school purposes.
Mhm.
So yeah, you do have that. Yeah.
Some of them is just don't
Because
have.
my laptop right
you-
now is actually a school-based laptop.
Yeah. So specifically, but you see the long-lasting laptops are the ones that tend to have a good frame.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about software yet.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Let
But
me
the exterior, because
Yeah.
the reality is that if you're going to class with a laptop, you're gonna bounce it against something.
Someone is
You're
going to
knock
drop it
against
back.
somebody's gonna push this. So it must be sturdy. Right? See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that is a very crucial part.
And I think the
Because-
minimum you need, bare minimum, is an aluminum frame or a steel frame.
Yeah,
Plastic won't do. I can tell you that.
well,
Definitely won't, because my laptop
Yeah,
is
some
still.
people-
Ha.
it's something to take care of their stuff, but honestly, at some point in time,
Mhm.
you're gonna knock it against something.
It's
Understand?
most definitely.
Because I remember having a Sony laptop,
Oh,
one of my better laptops.
It's
that
been
I
a
had.
while and he's not from
Yeah, I'm
Sony.
telling you,
That's crazy.
I remember that because it works well. The only problem I had was the frame began to fall apart.
Oh.
And that's the problem. Everything else worked, but the frame began to fall apart. So if I could have taken
Frame
out
wasn't having it.
everything out and put it in a different, I would be good. So sometimes you have to look on there and
Missy, you still have it on you?
durability. Yeah, I have it home. I literally have it home.
Hey, one of his collections, you know.
Can I get it?
Yeah, I have it
I can
home.
fix it.
I might give it to you. Yeah, because it's just home. But the frame
Yeah,
is
real
very
scrapper.
important.
Yeah.
So, while I'm not a fan of like very expensive devices, the reality is that the prices are going to go down. And
Mhm.
sometimes persons want a MacBook because the frame is good and that kind of stuff. But it's very expensive.
And the thing about
They're
Apple,
very
Miss
expensive.
Neil, is
Yeah.
that I've noticed a pattern over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
When a new product comes out in September, immediately this very day it comes out, every other device's price drops. And it does not drop by a few dollars, it drops by a few hundreds. I noticed this when I got my iPhone 11 last year. I got it in June, and September when the iPhone 13 came out, my phone's price dropped by $300, $300 to $400.
Well,
I was like, really?
Because remember, you know, as soon as technology becomes older, the
Mhm.
price goes up. So keep on.
Yeah.
so when technology,
Because I remember seeing the MacBook.
no, go
I
ahead.
remember talking about me and Zav. We were talking about the MacBook with the slide bar,
Mhm.
or like, and it was like probably 3,000 something US dollars.
Oh.
I'm like, what? Right? Somewhere there back then, and now that was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and now it's like $1,200.
Yeah.
So the price gonna go down.
As
no,
technology
no, there's
grows.
those. Eh?
As technology increase.
Yeah, the price goes down.
So it's like a car. It depreciates over
yeah,
time.
Yeah. Well, the price goes down. I think the technology still remain high
Mhm.
because sometimes what persons want the technology to do is basic stuff.
I think-
because it's only tech guys would want
Eh.
something, but the majority would just want something that.
And I actually realized that after gaining all this knowledge from college and high school from with you, I realized right now I'm too picky.
Yeah.
I am very picky. Like, if you tell me right now to find a system for you, I am going to sit down a whole night researching through hundreds and thousands of pages
Yeah.
worth of different products to find the best ones that are compatible with one another. And then oh my god, I don't want to talk about that because I spent 3 days straight looking at a system for somebody who decided to just ask me to get a system for them with a budget of $900 easy.
Wow.
And I went out of my way to spend 3 days.
Laptop, desktop.
It's a desktop.
Desktop.
And I
Is
told
$900.
like a full build or
A full build.
Oh, okay.
$900 easy dollars.
900.
and it was a good they didn't want for anything
Oh,
huge.
okay.
It was just to play like Minecraft and college work. CXC, SBAs. So I was like, okay, for that, yeah, I could find something. It was an Intel i7 with the 620 graphics, which is not bad because I've seen systems that run 620 really
I
good.
think that's actually good.
And everything else inside was 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of SSD, NVMe, and so on. So it was a really nice device that came out of it. I was like, I really spent 3 days going through all of that, hundreds of pages, websites, and then I find. So I think that is where I'm right now, where I'm too picky, very picky. The more knowledge I know, the more I'm picky. So I feel like, yeah.
That's
So
what
school
happens.
students would just see what's the first thing they see and they'll pick it out. I mean that's exactly what I did with my laptop. I just saw the first device and I picked it out, and that was a long time ago.
You know, because
Before the knowledge.
Because
Yeah.
one of the problem in selecting laptops, for example, let's say, because that's what is happening now.
Yeah.
A lot of people buying devices because you're operating online. A laptop now is or a desktop is now a part of your life. It's just an
Yeah.
extension of you. So, bottom line, almost every single household gonna have laptops or that kind of stuff. So, you know, most time when you're gonna buy a laptop, right? The sellers, they are telling you, for example, you have a terabyte of hard drive, 1 terabyte hard drive, and you have Windows 11, and they tell you all this beautiful stuff. Now, if you do not understand the core, then you're gonna miss what is going to cause a laptop to give you trouble forever.
Yeah, and you can't even blame them.
And the issue is that if you do not know about processors, like
Yeah.
the brain of the computer, like which one is the better one, then you're gonna choose, what sounds good.
I mean, Mr. Neil,
Terabyte and this, and you're gonna.
my laptop right now, I feel terrible because my laptop speed is only 2 gigahertz.
You see, that's the thing.
I'm
right?
surprised your motherboard's still surviving. That's the question right there.
That's it.
I'm still
So-
questioning that.
So when person's going to buy laptops or devices, pay attention to the processor. Do not buy any Intel Celeron. Do not buy any Intel.
I think everyone should
Celeron.
look forward
Yeah,
to
'cause-
anything that's the i series and is above the 7th or 8th gen.
Yeah, I series above I series.
I think the
right?
12th gen just came out as well.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
the 7
anything
gen
above
is
that,
upgradable?
Right.
Well,
And also,
That's the point, man.
and also, if you know, when these guys are selling these devices, they would say it's 1 terabyte hard drive. No, hard drive in itself is slow.
yes.
So hard drive is slow. You look
And it's very, it's dangerous. It's very
Yeah.
fragile.
It's fragile. So if you drop your laptop, then the fact that because a hard drive has parts and moving parts,
Mm.
then something's gonna shift,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's always good to look for your first go to in this day and age. I'm not really going to say use a hard drive and a mix with a SSD. No, just go to SSDs.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're on a very tight budget,
Yeah, but you know
because SSD is a
because
little
let-
less expensive.
Yeah, not little, it's kind of more expensive.
Oh.
But the thing about an SSD is that it will last.
Yeah.
You know, it will last. So sometimes it's best to kind of save and just spend the money for the proper technology, unless you're gonna find yourself in a position where you spend twice as much
Yeah.
for a cheaper device that if you put that money together, you'd still have that device for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's best to kind of let's save towards it as opposed to buy something too cheap and then you end up
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I always tell persons that look for something that's long lasting rather than
Yeah.
a short term thing, because
yeah.
technology does advance
Mhm.
every day. A new thing is always coming out every day, but that doesn't mean go for something low and then think about something else later.
Well,
Or then wait for the tech 2 or 3 years ago that was extremely good, that you wanted at that time,
Yeah,
and
like the 20 series graphics cards right now.
yeah,
They're actually cheaper than 2-3 years ago.
and they're good,
Yeah,
and then they're still good. So yeah,
as well as when you're building, as I said, building a PC, right?
Mhm.
And you buy a processor and stuff like that, and you don't have the money to afford the one that like to go onto it. So it's best that you buy something that you could build on
yeah.
Mhm.
Something that's
buying
upgradable.
Yeah,
Right,
instead of buying
upgradable.
upgradable
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
So you
Because
make
most
sure
persons make that mistake of getting
motherboard.
systems that are not upgradable.
and that's a problem. So
Because even my laptop, they first said it's not upgradable, but because of how in depth and developed I am in my knowledge in this, I can unsolder everything, solder it back. But not everyone knows how to solder.
That's true.
yeah.
And also, that's very
everyone, yeah,
tricky
yeah,
because
they're not-
if you miss one of those pins from the soldering,
Oh, you're done for.
you're done.
You're done for.
I think that is why you see I think that's why Apple kind of have a kind of hand in the game because they understand that. Because for example, you can't really upgrade certain MacBooks. You can't do it.
No.
For example, the M1 chip, I believe the RAM is a part of
The chip
the
itself,
chip, so it's a part of it. So if you're gonna buy an 8 gig RAM,
you're
that's
stuck
what
with
it is.
that.
If you're gonna buy a 60 gig, that's what it is. But
But I still do understand their concept for having it like that.
But I think for the data delivery, that's why.
Yeah.
It delivers faster.
The closest is the thing.
Yeah, right. Delivers faster. So as a result, if you have the 8 gigs or the 16, it's just moving very,
Yeah.
very fast. So that is where they actually compensate for
Mhm.
that, right? But for other systems like your Acer and Lenovo that you can upgrade, choose a system that you can actually, as the word says, upgrade.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as I said, you want something that's long term.
Long term, yeah.
So
And
Mhm.
that's another thing. People always look at one website. It's either the website of the person that's selling it or Amazon. There are other websites they can check, like newegg.com. They could check B&H. There's so many other sites where you find.
Yeah, there are gonna be a lot of sites, but you know how some people are very spectacle of things, like certain
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So they just
And
hold about themselves.
In that case, I think Newegg will be one that's recommended
Yeah.
because Newegg. I mean, even CES is everything's done by Newegg. Most of it. Even this year, most of the technology that I know about, like from the screen and everything was shown by Newegg. So-
Newegg is gonna link to everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then.
And I think most
and PC pad picker, persons still use PC pad picker.
indeed
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
PC pad picker.
it's very useful, especially when
It's
you're
useful.
learning.
Yeah, it's useful because it tells you what is compatible with what, so it helps. It helps.
And that is when I learned that the motherboard's name is very crucial because that name basically says which chips will work on
Right.
it.
So it So it will deal with the compatibility stuff. So you don't wanna. That is why I think back in the days when we were just learning computer, we would just buy a motherboard and hope that
It
chip
worked.
works. We just hope.
You just slap it on and say,
Yeah,
okay, it
hope that
works.
it works, right?
And think
But,
about PC Part Picker actually teaches you what you
Right,
could
right.
possibly do to make this chip work. So I think there was a board I was watching, which is the Asus BM50 or F50, and it does not is not compatible for the Ryzen AMD Ryzen not Ryzen AMD new R series or something. Oh, the Radeon series is not compatible with certain chips. So the way you actually get it to work is use a older chip on that, flash the thing, and then get the new chip on it. I was like, I wouldn't have never find that if
Yeah.
that process, and it shows me exactly what to do.
To actually do that. So there are ways around it, for persons who are more techie.
Miss Neil, I'm pretty sure that everyone tuning in and listening right now are taking notes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Mr. Neil,
Ooh.
unfortunately, I would love to talk about, because there's so much, especially with to just teach persons how you could get a system, because
I think we need to have an entire show on that. Yeah.
because this is New Year's,
Yeah.
and every single student, I believe, and teacher as well,
And-
are working towards SBAs, which means students are focused on purchasing laptops and desktops for the household.
And they have those who are preparing to go to university.
Eh, well, me.
So they need a device. So
And
they're looking
Everell.
for which device would last long? Which one will keep up? Because again, going to university, you want to play games, but at the same time, can a machine handle what
Yeah.
you want? And if you play these games, will you see smoke after a while? And
Yeah.
then you're gonna have to buy something
Mr.
else
Neil.
again.
Mr.
So
Neil,
you have to be very careful.
Miss Neil, you know what we did? So New Year's, everyone was over by my house, and my laptop started to smoke after a while. So we literally took off the back cover, put a fan underneath it to turn on the AC, and we just let it go
Just leave it like that. Yeah.
before
That-
it starts smoking.
Yeah, when I was in college, I built my first PC by buying a motherboard from the lab tech. So at university, there's this lab tech, and and I said I want to build my PC, and he sold me a motherboard, and I didn't have the system unit, the unit for it, the tower. There was no tower. So all I had was the motherboard.
Oh, so you just
the
had it
GPU,
up there.
the processor, the motherboard, the GPU, the processor, the chips, the RAMs that we had, and I had the monitor and the cables. So I just hook up everything.
And
so
just
on
had
my table, it was just open. Just open. And
I mean,
fan
Miss
running in,
Neil,
and
everyone
that's
starts
what we
from
did.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's what we did. And it was fun because
It
you
looks
see-
cool
you
too.
see everything running and everything working, so it
Yeah.
was rather cool.
So, Mr. Neil, Everell, unfortunately, we are actually over time. So, for everyone tuning in right now, this is a quick note. Tune in every other Tuesday on 98.9 Win FM to join us as we uncover the various realms within IT and STEAM. We also go live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at WINNMedia SKN. Let's Talk IT is also available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. I will take a breather real quick because if not, everyone's going to scuff me.
Like, yo.
Now, to be updated on everything SKNRA, check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, and LinkedIn at SKNRA, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, or SKN Robotics Association on YouTube. Now, to be updated on everything IITAE, check out our socials, which are Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at IITAE or IIT Now, a big shout out to our sponsors, SKNRA, the St. Kitts Nevis Robotics Association, IITA, the International Information Technology Academy of Excellence, and TDC. I'm your host, it's Crazy Sanjeev, and our guests. One more big thanks for them showing up again. We're gonna begin with Mr. Everell Williams
Yeah.
and the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ricardo Neal. And we'll see you guys until next week. Stay tuned. Goodbye.